once again I am here with a new video for you all, and today we have to start with a new topic, that is agriculture. And as you all know it very well, agriculture has been one of the main occupations of the people since ages. And at present also, it plays an important role in the economy of all the countries, especially a country like India. You know, the economy of our country, that is India's economy, is called as agrarian economy. What does that mean? Agrarian means the economy which is based basically on the agriculture as the main occupation. Or you can say the economy which is mainly dependent on agriculture to a large scale. You can say directly or indirectly, it is dependent on agriculture. So that is called an agrarian economy. And at present, we are starting with a new topic, agriculture, which is there in our syllabus. And first of all, as we start with this, I must remind you all regarding the sharing of the link of this video with your friends and the classmates also. And along with that, don't forget to subscribe the channel and press the bell icon so that you will get the notifications regarding any new video if it is uploaded on the channel. Now let's start with this topic. First of all, agriculture. Agriculture, what does that mean? The term agriculture means what? Is it just the farming? Is it just to sow the seeds and to get the crop harvested? It is actually a broad term, which includes within it not only the cultivation of land, but along with that, the rearing of animals or the cattle along with it. So agriculture does not include only the farming, right? Farming is just one part of agriculture. But when we say agriculture, it is, you can see here, it is the cultivation of soil in order to grow crops. That is the main purpose. Along with that, over the same land area, if we rear the livestock, we rear the cattle, we rear suppose the poultry we have started or any such activity we are doing, that also comes under agriculture. So dairy, poultry, all these activities come under this. Many such other activities also come under this. That means basically you should remember the definition of agriculture. Agriculture is simply the cultivation of soil, right, in order to grow certain crops, and along with that to rear the livestock. This is the actual definition of agriculture. Now, what can be the main purpose behind doing this agricultural activities? Main purpose behind this is, number one, to produce food for the land, or you can say for the human or animal consumption. Basically, to feed the entire population of our country, as well as the animals which are there in our country, to feed those animals also. It's not only the human beings. So anyhow, when we produce food, when we grow crops over the land area for this purpose, to feed the human beings and the animals whichever are there in our country, so for that purpose when we do this activity, that is called agriculture. Now come to next part of it, importance of agriculture basically. In India, in reference to our country, what is the basic importance of agriculture? How it is so important for us? Number one, it is actually because India has been a developing country. So in developing countries, naturally, if we know that way, suppose you try to understand, if we call the development in the present scenario, it means the industrialization, right? More and more industrialization. If we say India has developed within the last few decades a lot, That means the growth of industries and the other activities have also grown fast along with agriculture. But before that, what was the condition? Just around, you can say, till the time of independence, agriculture was the only main occupation of the people. And it was also not in a good condition. Okay, it was not even sufficient. We were not able to grow that much crop or the food grains so that we could feed the population of our own country. So at that time we were importing the food grains from the other countries. This was the condition. So what do you think the main purpose behind this activity is? What? The most important purpose is to feed a large population as well as to produce food for the livestock, or you can say the fodder for our livestock, okay, or the animals. So this is number one purpose. Number two is that it provides raw materials. As we know that several industries are growing up fast, so many industries are totally dependent on the agriculture. Why? Because they are getting their raw materials from agricultural fields only, agricultural sector only. So it is one of the basic sources for raw materials for especially the industries which are called as agro-based industry. Okay, agro-based, just the meaning of agro-based is what? The industries which use the agricultural produce as their raw material. So for those industries, agriculture provides the raw material. Next, come to the other point. It provides almost 13% of the total value of export. Right? Total export, whatever is being done from our own country, almost 13 to 15% of the total value is actually being provided by agriculture. So naturally, it plays an important role to keep the trade in a better form. Then it provides employment also. That is also one very important part of our country, to actually give more and more employment. This agriculture, you can say the various agricultural activities provide a lot of such opportunities for the large number of people who are still unemployed. So many people are directly or indirectly, they are employed. They are actually getting employment by this agriculture. So this is how you can say it is almost around 50 to 55% of the total labor force which is there in India. Total labor force. Out of that 50 to 55%, just it is concerned with, it is related to the agricultural activities. I said in the earlier part that it is directly or indirectly, they are associated with agricultural activities. Clear? Whether it is farming or any other activities. So this is the importance of agriculture when we talk about our own country. So when we talk about the problems of Indian agriculture, the first very basic thing comes in front of us is actually regarding the providing the irrigation to the crops. So what is actually irrigation? Irrigation is artificially when we provide water to the crops. That is called irrigation. Now, maximum number of the farmers, when we talk about the total farmers altogether in India, out of all that you will find, suppose they are having several fields, agricultural fields are there and they are growing crops. So over that you will find to a large extent they are dependent still on the monsoons, the rainfall. And rainfall, which is basically in India, we know it very well that the rainfall is mainly caused by the monsoons. Now when we connect the rainfall with monsoons, we know the nature of monsoons. Monsoons are totally, you can say it's the rainfall caused by monsoons are totally uncertain. These are irregular. These are unequally distributed. We cannot totally rely on the monsoons for the rainfall. So for that purpose, we need to have certain irrigation facilities, which are again lacking in our country. Still, a large percentage of the total net sown area in our country is lacking proper irrigation. So, to actually suppose sometime it happens that the monsoons come early, sometimes the monsoons fail, right? When the monsoons fail, at that time there is actually the danger of crop failure also. Why? Just because we are not having proper irrigation facilities. So for that purpose, we need to develop a very good irrigational, you can say the various sources of irrigational facilities. That purpose, we need to provide irrigation facilities in all the agricultural areas, agricultural fields. Next, one very important problem which we are facing, the Indian farmers are facing, that is actually small and fragmented land holdings. Large number of farmers still, in India, when we talk about this, the farmers, still large number of such farmers are there who have got a very small and land holdings, and many times you will find the farmers don't have even any land at all. So what about those people? And if they have small land holdings, that means the size of land which is is owned by any particular farmer, the size is too small. So when the size of farm becomes small, what does that have? What is the result of it? In cultivation, always it creates several problems. Even suppose we have to use any big machinery, so how to use it? Because only one part of the one small land, what we actually want to grow crop in that land area, we are going to use that machine over that land only. But what about the others? The other land which are actually with some other farmers, they don't want to use it at all. So in that case, the total production gets affected. So small and fragmented land holding is again one big problem in Indian agriculture. Next come to the old and inefficient methods and techniques of farming. Yes, again this is an important problem we are facing. Old and inefficient methods. That means what? When the farmers are mostly, they are either very less educated or they are totally illiterate. Large number of farmers are still illiterate. So what will happen if a person is educated and if a person is totally illiterate? What will be the viewpoint of both the persons? Just think of it. If a person is educated, he will be able to sort out the problems quite well as compared to the person who is totally illiterate. Moreover, the type of soil, what type of fertilizer has to be used in that soil, what are the various methods we must use there to do the farming. So all these things and the latest developments, whatever techniques we are using these days, the various machineries we have to use. Okay, so all these things, how to know about it? Unless a person is educated, he won't be able to get the information about all these things. So this is again one big drawback, and that has made actually the agriculture to suffer. In what way? These people, if they are illiterate, they are less educated, naturally they are going to use certain such methods which are not at all efficient, which are old and traditional methods, which are now outdated methods of farming. The techniques which they use, these are not up to the mark what we need at present. So for that purpose, we need to think over this problem also, which is actually which needs to be sorted out very fast. Next is the reduction in net sown area. These days, actually, it has been seen that the farmers are now moving. Most of the farmers you will find in the villages, because they are not getting proper return from the crops what they grow. So what they do is, large number of children, suppose from this background, from the farmers, actually they are going to the urban areas to work in the urban areas in different ways, and not to continue with the cultivation or agriculture anymore. So that is one thing. And moreover, many farmers are now shifting from the agricultural area towards any, suppose you can say they have sold out their land, agricultural land, to some builders and all. So in this manner you will find the total net sown area is reducing since actually last few years, or you can say 1 decade or so. If you see the total area under the various crops has now decreased, right? Net sown area has decreased. So there are various such reasons behind it. Now next is challenges posed by globalization. Yes, globalization actually is world over. When you will compare the agriculture which is done in the other countries and what is done in our country, that is India, you will find a lot of differences there. Why? Because most of such Western countries and the other countries have developed various latest technologies which are actually helping a lot the farmers to get a better production, to get a, you can say, better return out of it. The farmers are now well off in those countries. So ultimately, whatever we are producing in India, if we are facing different problems, what will happen then? The total cost which is involved in the production, suppose to get the total yield out of the fields, right? The agricultural fields. So that the cost behind that will get higher. If the cost will rise, naturally what will happen then? As compared to the crop what we are sending from our country to the international market, the other crops which are coming from the other countries, other suppose food grains which are coming from the other countries, they are going to be at a cheaper cost. So there also we are going to suffer. Why? Because always the people like to get a good quality, no doubt. But if good quality is available at cheaper cost, why not to get that? Why they are going to opt for the other product which is actually at a higher rate it is available? So these are a few things. Along with that, you can say when the farmers, they face such problems, they are not very well off, they are not able to put proper input in the growth of various crops. Like you can take the example of sugarcane. For that we need a lot of fertilizers to be provided every now and then. Along with that, you'll find the irrigation facilities are required. The farmer, suppose farmer is not so well off, how he will be able to manage with all that? He will take some loans from the other people. So these are a few things ultimately that is actually becoming a burden for the farmer. So this is actually, all these things are somehow they affect the total quality as well as the quantity of production. So this is how it is getting challenged from the other countries, the products which we are getting from the other countries. Next is exploitation of farmers. Yes, farmers actually, they are, first thing is that they are not very well off, right? Maximum number of farmers still belong to that category. Moreover, if they are not educated, they can easily be exploited by the wealthy people. Just now I was giving you example. Suppose a farmer is going to get the loan from a person who is there in their own village. Now what will happen? That actually when they give loans, they take actually a very high interest over that, or they will ask the farmer to give the field in return, right? Give their agricultural field in return. So at higher rate of interest, when those people are charging money from these farmers, ultimately one day will come when the farmer will lose his land to that person who had given a simple loan to him, right? So this is how many ways are there by which the farmers are getting exploited a lot till now. Earlier it was going on a lot, but these days also it's not that we are now free of all these things. Still farmers are getting exploited. And for that, the main thing what we can do is the immediate thing that we can provide education to the farmers, right? Once the farmers or once a person is educated, there are very less chances of getting exploited then. So this is one thing the farmers are facing, the Indian agriculture is facing altogether. Then one big problem we are facing is soil erosion. Now soil erosion, basically it is covering a major part of the fertile alluvial plains of India. And besides that, in several other areas also, which can the area which could be used for agriculture purpose, for growing some of the other crops, now it is facing a lot of soil erosion. And once the soil erosion is going on in any area, what will happen then? Soil erosion is actually the loss of the topsoil, the fertile topsoil. So once the soil erosion is going on, it will lead the soil to get less fertile or totally infertile, right? So to sort out this problem also is a big challenge for us. Once we have sorted out all these problems, after that we are going to find that Indian agriculture is growing very, very fast.